Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my brothers and sisters in Islam. This is my brother Bilal. My name is Usman. Akhi today is going to introduce his story on how he transitioned to Islam.
MashaAllah. Okay, so yeah, I became Muslim about 8 years ago. When I was 17, I'm now 25. It's been a fantastic journey. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah. So Akhi, what was your first initial interest that you had in the deen? What brought you, what sparked the fire inside you to
honestly
look into the deen?
Honestly, it's been there since I was a little kid, when in year 7 or year 8. I met a Muslim brother. He wasn't practicing, and he was getting fights, he was getting arguments with teachers and so on. And then a few days later he started to practice and study the deen. He started praying 5 times a day. And he spoke to me about it. He said, okay, as a Christian, you don't look like you're happy as a Christian, and you should be a Muslim, man. And then I didn't really take it in until I was 17, because then I was only 10, 11, 12, you know what I mean, around that age.
Young age, so
yeah.
So you being 17 years old, Akhi, and taking your Shahada, where did you take your Shahada, and where was you born, what place?
Well, born in Manchester, in St Mary's.
Same, St Mary's, man.
Yeah,
all the
St
way.
Mary's tribe, that's good,
man. So you was born here,
yeah.
You were 17, and you had an interest in the deen, so when you actually took the Shahada, whereabouts was you?
I was in the mosque in town, in it's called the Muslim Youth Foundation. In town, and I met a brother there called John Fontaine. John Fontaine, that's the one. Yeah, very nice guy. He's a revert himself. How long has he been a revert? Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, a long time.
He makes dawah books and stuff as well.
Yeah, he makes dawah books and everything. Yeah, he's very good guy.
Active.
And he just told me about in Christianity you have. There are signs of a messenger on the way.
Yes, true.
After Jesus, peace be upon him, that was going to come, and it mentions in the Jewish language as well. The word that they use for Allah is the same. Is called Allah or Elohim, so it starts with Allah and Allah. You know what I mean? So it's like a very similar message there. So and it just opened my eyes. Yeah, it's just that was the final step for me saying, I want to be Muslim right now.
MashaAllah. So so when you transitioned, and you initially took your Shahada, do you remember when you took your Shahada?
So I took my Shahada before Ramadan.
Yeah.
A few months before Ramadan.
Alhamdulillah.
Just before my 18th birthday.
So boom, when you took Shahada, what was the initial response from your close ones, your family? What did they how did they go about you accepting and because obviously to become a Muslim, it's a very big step. In society nowadays, when someone has embraced Islam, it's such a huge thing in society. People think that the person's crazy, that the person's been brainwashed or has become extreme or something. So when you actually took your Shahada, what was the initial first response of your family? How long did it take for you to tell them?
Well, the interesting story about it is I didn't tell my parents I was Muslim for 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, what I was doing, because I was speaking to my friend in college, he was telling me about it.
Yeah.
And I was debating with him and saying,
so he was trying to get to know basis first.
And then when I did take Shahada with John, I didn't say anything to my mum for 2 weeks. I was still debating with her. Still debating with my mum.
What was your background as Christian? What was it that your family followed, and what did you follow? What was it what sector of Christianity was it?
Yeah, the sector of Christianity was the Church of England.
Church of England.
Yeah, it's the Protestant side.
It's quite hardcore.
yeah, with black parents, man. The thing is with that, my mum never really used to go to church that often.
Right. So she never really practiced.
Yeah, but when I came to Islam now, all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, boom, she started going. She started going Sunday. She started having people around the house, having they're singing, they're dancing, they're speaking in. Do you know when they speak in tongues?
Yeah. They go that. So alhamdulillah, you would say as a revert, it's very important to have you know, that good
Yeah,
company around
society.
you, because they say, you know, like when you leave yourself alone, you know, you're prey for the wolves,
Yeah.
you know, the lone sheep. Not saying you're a sheep,
Yeah.
but yeah. So alhamdulillah. So 8 years on now, akhi, you know, what's been your like? What's the biggest impact like that it's had on your life, Islam, and like how do you feel like now today, 8 years later, being a Muslim? Like, can you like elaborate?
I feel like the tests I went through, all the tests for those 8 years, and
Right.
even going on now, I just feel like it's all a blessing from Allah.
Alhamdulillah. So,
Because if you'd have seen me before, then 17, you'd be like, oh, who was this guy, man?
hey, this guy.
Don't go near this guy, man.
This
This guy's harami, man.
Yeah, subhanallah. But alhamdulillah, like.
But now, like, obviously, I met friends. I had a better relationship with my mom and my dad.
Mashallah.
And you know, they just see me as more of a human now. I don't, because the thing is with men, this is men in general.
Yeah.
We tend to want to deal with things ourselves.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
Just
We don't want
bottle
to.
it.
Like bottle it up, and then if we want to deal with a problem, we're gonna deal with it.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I
of
need a
course,
job, I'm
of
gonna
course.
find a job on my own.
Yeah.
If I need this, I'm gonna get it on my own. I'm gonna
Tend
eat
not
it.
to
You know what I
reach
mean?
out. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
tend not to reach out.
and
Yeah,
try and do everything
yeah.
yourself.
That's like a man's mentality.
Yeah, true.
But
True.
obviously, with my mum and my dad, I can speak to them. They were there the whole time for me. You know what I mean?
Alhamdulillah.
I never even realised, man. And one time I just broke down I had a bit of a dispute with my dad, and I left. I went to see my mum. I was just angry in it, and I went to jog. Still couldn't calm down, and just broke down on the floor in my room and started crying, man. And my mum came in. My mum came in and said, "Oh, Mum, wallahi, I'm really, really happy with Allah that I have my mum, man, because she's always been there for me."
Inshallah.
And she came in the room and said, "What's up? What's up?" I said, "Oh, Mum, no one speaks to me, no one calls me. I can't get married. I got no." I had a job then. It wasn't that bad. I can't get married. No one speaks to me. I said, "Oh, look, let's help. And she's always there. Just let's break it down. Let's try this. Let's try
Problem
that."
solver. But
Yeah,
best problem solver
Is
is your
your
mum.
mum, man.
Alhamdulillah, your
Alhamdulillah.
queen.
Alhamdulillah. One thing I learned in Islam, like, if you can never pay your mum back.
Yeah, you never can. Even if it's just a contraction
Yeah,
that
even
she
just
had,
a little bit.
you couldn't even repay the
Yeah.
contractions.
With your dad, you can if you just like,
Yeah.
if you feed him or something, or
because you
get
didn't
him
have to
something.
carry you for 9
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
I always look out for your mothers, man.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mum is like really,
She'll
really
always
special.
be there, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Akhi, so like, you know, I just met this brother as well, yeah. So basically, I met Akhi today, like literally
Yeah,
just
literally
prayed
today.
Isha, and basically just met this brother, sat at the back, waiting for another brother, and just met Akhi. And you know, subhanallah, you know the thing is with like, with the reverts, like it's an instant connection, you know, like when you're truly, you know, close to Allah, like the reverts are close to you, you know what I mean, like you don't see them as ordinary people. So Akhi, yeah, you was talking about companionship and
Yeah,
whatnot, yeah?
yeah.
So alhamdulillah, now you know I've met you.
Yeah, this is like a blessing. Man. Now,
This I literally met this
Alhamdulillah,
brother,
this
and this
is
is
a
the
blessing.
first video as well.
Yeah.
And just met this Akhi now, alhamdulillah, may Allah bless him, I mean. I just met you now, and you was talking about, you know, companionship. You know, it's good to have good friends, you know, good friends on the deen around you that can help, you know, that can take you closer to Allah. And yeah, so you're trapped with me now.
Yeah, you can keep away. Basically, yeah, what you're trying to say, you can keep away from bad things.
Yeah, of course.
Because obviously we live in Manchester.
Yeah.
Manchester's like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of fitna here
Yeah,
with
of course.
women and
course.
drinks and casinos,
Definitely,
and all the
definitely,
things that Allah doesn't like.
Definitely.
They're living around us, and
Yeah.
obviously there's mosques in the same area, so we can fight it. You know what I mean?
Which path you want to take, really.
Yeah,
And if you want Jannah, it's not going to be easy. But if
Yeah.
you want the dunya, it's easy to fall into the
Yeah.
dunya, and it's here right in front of you.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what you really want to, you know, what you're really living for. I mean,
Yeah.
our purpose as Muslims is to worship Allah.
Yeah.
So alhamdulillah, yeah, I met Akhi today, literally just not long ago. And yeah, you know, you wanted, alhamdulillah, to have good companions around you. So you're stuck with me now, man.
Yeah, man.
Alhamdulillah, you know, I'll exchange numbers. And subhanallah, brother's stuck with me now, yeah, inshallah, until death, inshallah. But yeah, we need to, as Muslims, as I would just, this is the last, my last point, I would say as Muslims, we need, in these times, we're living in some mad times. Wallahi, we're living in like the end times now. We're brothers in Islam, so we're like this, subhanallah. So we have to keep the connection like this, because in these times it's very easy to drift off and start segregating yourself and, you know, be, you know, alone and you know, be cut off from the rest of your brothers. So yeah, subhanallah, what would be your last point to summarize?
My last point,
We could talk for hours.
yeah, my last point is always just with your salah, keep with the salah.
Alhamdulillah.
And yeah, and if you're one brother told me I didn't listen to him, but I should now. I should now. I said if you're on your own, just stay in the mosque.
Yeah, that's true.
Stay
That's
down.
very good advice, because being in the houses of Allah, this is one of the main things, because this is one of the most blessed place to be is in the house of Allah. So anytime you feel low, you know, you should be in a routine of coming into the masjid anyway, and this will always, you know, alleviate, you know, any sufferings or anything that you have. But yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we should do bloopers, man.
Yeah, we should do,
bloopers, but
man.
yeah,
We should,
alhamdulillah. Yeah, it's a wrap, man.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Peace. I like your jacket. MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah.
Keeping all this in there.
You got a thing.
What's that?
Out of part of the camera. Alright, akhi. Just want to make sure I can see me too. One sec. This is the first video, yeah? This is... What's the date, man? This is the 3rd of December, yeah? Very first.
2018.
Very first. Gee.
Yeah, man.
Boom. Assalamu alaikum wa yo, the light
What's this guy doing, man?
It's hot. And one's hot. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my brothers and sisters in Islam. I'm joined today with my brother.
Bilal.
What do you think? Come on, man. Yo, it's not as easy as I thought it would be to make a video. You know? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So, it's my first ever video, fam. Chill, man. Someone, man.
Yo.
Chill. Alright, let me start.
Bismillah, go on. Bismillah. You got enough film in that. It's recorded, yeah?
It's got. Yeah. Oh snap.